February 11th on this day. In 660 BC, Japan was traditionally founded by Emperor Jimmu, marking the beginning of the imperial lineage that continues to this day. In 1531, King Henry VIII was recognized as the supreme head of the Church of England, a pivotal moment in the English Reformation. In 1753, Pennsylvania Hospital, the first hospital in the United States, began admitting patients. It was co-founded by Benjamin Franklin, advancing public health in America. In 1800, William Henry Fox Talbot, a photography pioneer, was born. He would later produce the first book with photographic illustrations, titled The Pencil of Nature. In 1809, American inventor Robert Fulton was granted a patent for the steamboat, transforming water transportation. In 1810, French leader Napoleon I married his second wife, Marie-Louise of Austria, forging a political alliance between France and Austria. In 1815, news of the Treaty of Ghent, which ended the War of 1812, finally reached the United States, marking an official conclusion to the conflict with Britain. In 1847, American inventor Thomas Edison was born. He would later hold a world record number of patents and play a crucial role in introducing modern electricity. In 1858, 14-year-old Bernadette Soubirous, a miller's daughter in Lourdes, France, claimed to have seen an apparition of the Virgin Mary, sparking widespread religious pilgrimage. In 1878, the first United States bicycle club, known as the Boston Bicycle Club, was established, encouraging cycling as a popular sport and pastime. In 1898, physicist Leo Szilard was born, who would later play an instrumental role in the Manhattan Project during World War II. In 1904, President Theodore Roosevelt proclaimed strict neutrality for the United States in the Russo-Japanese War, reflecting America's policy of avoiding foreign conflict. In 1907, William J. Levitt, a United States businessman and community builder who led post-war housing revolutions with his Levittown projects, was born. In 1926, the Mexican government nationalized all church property, a significant move in the country's struggles over religious and political authority. In 1929, Vatican City, the smallest country in the world, became an enclave within Rome, after the Lateran Treaty recognized its sovereignty. In 1929, a committee met in Paris to devise the Young Plan, which revised the Dawes Plan of 1924 and renegotiated Germany's reparations for World War I. In 1938, the world's first science fiction television program was broadcast, featuring the play R.U.R. by Carol Capek, which introduced the word robot to the world. In 1942, the German battleships Gneisenau, Scharnhorst, and Prinz Eugen began their famed Channel dash from the French port of Brest through the English Channel back to Germany. In 1945, at the Yalta Conference, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and Joseph Stalin signed the Declaration of Liberated Europe, pledging that liberated nations would establish democratic governments through free elections. In 1949, the single Lovesick Blues was released by Hank Williams. It was hailed as Cashbox's best hillbilly record of the year and Billboard's Song of the Year. In 1951, United Nations forces pushed north across the 38th parallel for the second time during the Korean War. In 1953, Walt Disney's animated film Peter Pan premiered, enchanting audiences and becoming a classic in the history of animation. In 1954, to commemorate the 75th anniversary of Thomas Edison's first light bulb, a 75,000-watt light bulb was illuminated at Rockefeller Center in New York. In 1955, Chinese nationalist forces completed the evacuation of the Tachin Islands, marking a significant moment in the Taiwan Strait crisis. In 1964, Sarah Palin, who would become the first woman to appear on a Republican presidential ticket as John McCain's running mate in 2008, was born. In 1965, President Lyndon Johnson ordered airstrikes against targets in North Vietnam, escalating U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. In 1966, Vice President Hubert Humphrey began his tour of Vietnam to assess the situation on the ground. In 1969, American actress Jennifer Aniston was born. She later achieved stardom on the television sitcom Friends and built a successful film career. In 1974, communist-led rebels in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, launched artillery attacks on a crowded area, killing 139 people and injuring 46 others. In 1975, Margaret Thatcher became the first woman to lead the British Conservative Party, marking a major milestone in British politics. In 1989, the Reverend Barbara Harris of the Protestant Episcopal Church became the first female bishop in the Anglican Communion, making history for women's leadership in the church. In 1990, Nelson Mandela was released after more than 27 years in prison in South Africa. His release marked a turning point in the struggle against apartheid. In 2011, Egypt's revolution culminated in the resignation of President Hosni Mubarak, transferring power to the Supreme Military Council after 18 days of massive protests during the Arab Spring. In 2012, American singer Whitney Houston, known for her soaring voice and pop stardom in the 1980s, died at age 48. In 2013, Pope Benedict XVI announced his resignation, effective February 28th, becoming the first pope to resign since 1415.
Subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's events.